Okay, now that we've created a couple of different tests here and used some page breaks, I'm going to show you how to use your or add questions and use questions from question banks. So for example, let's say we want to reuse the questions we created for test 1 in a later test, test 2. We could open up this test, go to the Options drop-down menu, and add questions to bank. Now, depending on the test, depending on the quiz, you may want to use all these questions on a later test in the year or unit. You may use just a couple, so you can select them at random, or not at random, but whatever questions you like. I'm going to select all. I'm going to click Next. All right. You have some options here. You can select a bank if you've created a question bank already. Under Home, you will take a look and find where you can decide where you want to put that new question bank. And so I've already created 2 question banks here, Test 1 questions and Test 2 questions. Let's just go ahead and add it to Test 1 questions. All right, so now all 6 of these questions are in Test 1 questions folder in our resources. So that's where it goes when you add them to add questions to a bank. All right, so now let's add some questions to our Test 2. Okay, and if you create a new when you create a new test and this is all blank, you don't have any questions here, this option is still there. So no matter where you are, if you're creating a new test, you want these questions from a question bank, you can do that. So for example here, let's add a question, and we have right here from question banks. Click on that, and you have 2 options. If you have a number of folders with questions from different units and you want to use a number of different questions, you can actually pick random questions, and the computer or the Schoology will pick and choose random questions from those question banks. So we can do that. You could do it that way. I'll show you how to do that. So we want test questions from there, and those are the ones I want to select. So now we'll just choose. Maybe there are 12 questions in that one. I want 5 questions from that, 1 point per question. I want 1 of the questions from that bank, and 1 point per question. I'll add those questions. It'll randomly choose them from those, and actually it'll randomize them for the students that take the quiz as well. So some kids will get, it'll randomize it completely. So of those 12 questions, there's a chance that one student will have 5 completely different questions than another student, and so on. So that's one way to add questions from bank. Maybe you want all the same questions for all the same students. So let's add questions from bank. We're going to get individual questions. We're going to take test 1 questions, and we want this question, and this question. I'm going to add those questions. Now, what's wrong with my test here? I wouldn't ever send this out because it could randomly choose from that first folder. It could randomly choose this question, and so they get the same question twice. So you have to kind of make up your mind how you want to use those questions from those question banks. But that is how you save questions to a question bank and how you put them into a test or quiz.